All right. Hi, everyone. How are we doing tonight? Okay. It's our first Tuesday in June. And so I wanted to start by just saying congratulations to everybody on here that promoted this last year, this last month, this last year. Well, this last year too. Way to go. But congratulations. You guys have all worked hard, and aren't we so pumped about like the new stuff that they brought out? Like this company is awesome how they set us up to move on. And so I have seen you guys rocking June, ready to go. And so tonight we're just going to jump right in because we have some incredible stories, incredible people ready to share with us with what they did last year. And so we'll just get right on it. All right, Melissa. There we go.
I'm trying to help, and then I'm making it worse.
You're good. Congratulations. So Melissa promoted to double diamond this last month. $20,000? $20,000?
Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. So it's so fun to be a part of this business. So Melissa, why don't we just jump in? Tell us a little bit about your story, how you got into the business.
Okay, first let me turn off my alerts because they're going to keep buzzing. Okay, so I started last February with It Works, and it's the craziest story because I obviously everyone has Instagram, and Danielle Boyle friended me, and I liked one of her pictures, and she messaged me if I was interested in like what she did. And at first I was like, sure, do you blog? Are you a traveler? Like, what is it you do? And so she explained to me, and I said, well, you know, can you call me and let's just talk about it, and I can ask questions. And of course she was like, yeah, like anytime, like let's talk. And so we talked for an hour and a half about the business, and I asked a million questions and just wanted to know like how it worked. And because I had done Younique before and it didn't work for me, like it was so hard. It was just not good. So I was really skeptical at first because of that. And so I ended up like dragging my feet for like 2 weeks, and then I was like, okay, like God, you got to show me, like I need to do this. And it was just sort of like this push. I felt like, just do it. Like you need this in your life, just do it. And so I signed up. I didn't even tell her I was going to do it. I just messaged her one day and I was like, okay, like I'm all signed up, you know, and she's like, okay, awesome. You know, so I went Ruby after 6 months in the company because I was working full time, and it was more of like, I'm a single mom, and so I wanted something extra coming in. So I went Ruby after 6 months and decided I would meet Danielle in Hawaii and just like meet her for the first time there because I love it there. And so we met there and worked our business the whole time, and I learned how to blitz really well. And we actually signed up 2 distributors while we were there. And yeah, so after that was after 6 months in the business. And then I lost my job, you guys. The one that I thought was like amazing, I was working it full time, I lost it. And I called Danielle immediately, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even scared because I know that there's big things to come with It Works. Like I can just feel it, and I'm not even scared. And she's like, what? Like most people would be crying, and you're just like excited. So that like, it was a couple other months where I sat at Ruby, and then we went to conference. And conference rocked my world. Like it was just like meeting everybody like you and, you know, Sherry and John and just everyone that's like, listen, we started where you were, and like it is possible to do this. Like that was really motivating. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down with them next year. I'm not going to be up here. I'm going to sit with them, and I want this for my life, and I want to put something in front of my daughters that is going to make them proud of me and leave a legacy and be legendary for them. And so I decided I was going to get built for double, and I was going to skip over diamond. And I don't know why I did it, but I built myself for double in April, and then I went double this month. So that's in a nutshell kind of like how my journey's been.
No, I love that. So a couple of things that you said that really stuck out, and I think that's super important, is some people will say yes right away and they'll jump right in. But I think for anybody who's starting,
Yeah.
like Danielle was willing to get in a conversation with you. And I think that's important when we're like reaching out to people and saying, especially if you're doing social media, don't feel like you have to answer everything in one, like, here, let me tell you this whole big thing. But like the goal is to get in a conversation and build a relationship with someone, because that's how this business works best. You know, you have a relationship. So I love that. I love that you said getting to conference. I mean, go hear that constantly, like get to an event, meet some people, you know, because you can start seeing, oh my word, I can do this. Like I can do it, you know? So go to an OTOM or go to a boot camp or go to somewhere. But I mean, you double promoted this month from Emerald to double.
Yes.
That is huge. Like, way to go. And
Thank you.
You know what I will go on the record to say? I think one of the hardest jumps is from Ruby to Emerald, because you can't see it. So if anybody's on there right now and you're like, man, I'm at this Ruby place, but once you go Diamond, once you go Emerald, you're like, oh, I can do that. All I need to do is do one more Ruby right now. And there's something that clicks from that Ruby place. So I'm just encourage you guys, don't be scared to hit that Emerald, because it can fall into place right after that.
Yeah. And that's a point that I was going to make too, is like going from Ruby to Emerald was probably my hardest, because you literally, your mindset has to change and you're like, okay, like I'm going to message people and I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to literally have to get out of my own way and make this happen for myself. Because Ruby's hard because you're kind of getting adjusted to like the business, but Emerald is just a whole different thing. Like your mindset is different. And that's why, like, I think that in this business, like Ruby to Emerald is one of the hardest jumps you'll make, because you literally have to change your mindset from like, okay, Ruby to like, okay, Emerald, like I'm actually going to work my business and I'm going to work it hard.
Yeah.
So yes,
which is awesome. Which Cami always says, this business is 20% skill set, 80% mindset. And so you got that mindset.
Yes.
You know? Okay, so what is it that you did? Obviously, you were planting seeds to reap what you did this month. What does how do you feel like you work your business?
So I always post. Like I will never miss a day of posting. It's so important to me to let people know that my business is open. I have so many followers on Facebook, and I'm going to have to clean it up, but I have so many. And if I miss a day, like I've even had people ask me if I quit, if I have missed a day, like back before, and I'm like, no. So I know the importance of keeping my business open every single day. It is so important to post the lifestyle posts that we're told to post, and post those business like before and after posts that we're told to post, because it literally will change. Like your business isn't going to grow unless you do, literally. I message people and I follow up with people. Everyone will tell you fortune is in that follow up, and it really is. I followed up with a girl who I've known since I was 12 years old. I went and visited Danielle, and I followed up with her for like 4 months, and she's watched my business for even over a year. And she finally joined as a DT, guys, because I followed up with her about being a loyal customer. And then finally she took the plunge and just joined my business. So if I hadn't been following up with her, I wouldn't have gotten her as a distributor and am helping her change her family's life. I add to my hundreds list pretty regularly, and I always talk about my business. I'm out and about. If I go through a drive-through with my kids, I blitz that person at the window. At Starbucks, anywhere I go, I want to make sure people know that like the reason I'm at this place during this time of day is because I have this opportunity. And I also message with my team twice a week. They come to my house and we message together and we work together. And I feel like that like is key to like how I'm running my business, is keeping in touch with my team.
Yeah.
So
okay, really quick, pretend I'm handing you your favorite Starbucks drink really quick. What would you say to me?
Oh, I would say thank you so much. Like your service has been great. I want to hand you this like coupon for what I do. And usually they'll be like, oh my gosh, what is it? And I'll say, have you ever heard of the Crazy Wrap? And they say, oh, like one of them has said, I've been wanting to try that. Like, let me friend you on Facebook really quick. And so I'll hand them my phone with Facebook open. They'll friend me. And then I'll say, I'm going to get in touch with you. And they'll say, thank you so much, and they'll take my Blitz card. So whether they have it on them personally or they set it somewhere, my Blitz card is now out there with my information. So one, I've gotten a potential customer through the drive-thru at Starbucks, and two, like, who else are they going to bring in with that coupon?
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And that's so true. It's so good to figure out what kind of like your 6 list is and what things are your non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what you just listed off right now. You post
Yes.
every day. You're going to message people. You add to your hundreds list. You talk with your team. What did I miss? And you blitz when you're out.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And blitzing can be simple too. Like, you guys can just put on, like, get in at work shirt and wear it every day, even if it's just one. If you're going out of the house, put it on, because people will stop you and be like, what works, you know? And even if it's a hat, like if you went to conference and you don't have a shirt, but you have that hat they gave you, people want to know what works. And blitzing can be that simple as, like, even if you're walking into a grocery store, hey, what works? And you can just kind of explain and then get their information and talk later.
Yeah. So true. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your goals that you kind of set daily, weekly, monthly? Or what were your goals even last month?
So my goals are really, they're simple. Like, I just like to make sure I'm adding new people onto my social media every day. I get excited because mine's growing, and it actually grew really fast. And it was like, this is so crazy how many followers I have.
How do you do that?
I follow up with what?
How do you add more people? What do you do when you add them?
So a really good thing that I've learned is to go into a group that you have in common. Like, I've told my team this, go into a group that you have in common. So one of the girls on my team has dogs, and Danielle actually suggested this to them as well. They have dogs. And so they went into that kind of dog that they have, that group, and they added friends from there and started interacting. And they've actually gotten quite a bit of customers from that because they have something in common. I have 3 girls, so I go into mom groups, because what mom doesn't want to help bring in extra income if they're home during the day. And I also just kind of look for, it's hard because friends of friends a lot of times will be It Works distributors. So I'm like trying to be choosy, but just finding people that have kids, or say they want to travel or stuff like that. Like, I'm constantly looking for that stuff so I can friend them.
Yeah.
So I just go through and kind of do it that way most of the time.
I love that. Okay, I interrupted you. So your goals you're kind of setting.
Yeah, so daily, and then I'll follow up with people that I've messaged and that have shown interest. I reach out to my 10 in my group of leaders just to see how they're doing, and I will literally follow up with them a couple times a day. They make sure they know that I'm available to them. That's super important. And then I try to get built for my next promotion at the beginning of the month, usually by the 9th. So every distributor that I'm going to have in place, I want to get in place by the 9th or 10th. So that'll usually start at the beginning of the month, and I'll work that daily until I get it done.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Okay. Messaging appropriately and posting appropriately for that too.
Sure. Okay, so let's think about this for a second. Single mom, 3 girls, lost your job in the midst of this. Those could be all reasons to go, I'm out. I need to go find a different job. I need to go find security.
Yeah.
So what are some things you do for your mindset to keep you plugged in?
Honestly, I will say this a million times over. Like, the support system that I have through this business, even if like it's not my immediate team, I can reach out to anyone and know that like I have that support system no matter what. That keeps me plugged in. It's like my own separate family, and I don't rely on it to stay sane, but it definitely helps me stay sane. Like, this is my like fun. I love what I do, and so to stay plugged in is very easy for me. Sorry, I have a cold. But it's really easy to stay plugged in because like, you have people that believe the same as you. You have people who excuse me, have the same goals. So it's easy to stay plugged in. Plugged in. Sorry.
No, you're good. So staying plugged in because you're around people, that helps your mindset, is just staying apart. That makes
Yes.
sense. That's what we say. Stay close to the fire. Your flame doesn't go out. You're going to be passionate about it one time and the next day something could happen. It can make you feel down. So if you stay plugged in and connected,
Yes.
that's going to keep you going forward. Okay. Last thing. What is one tip you would leave somebody who's wanting to go? Who's wanting to double promote this month? What would you
Yes, double promote. Definitely do your steps to success. I can't stress it enough, like how important messaging is, how important making new friends and blitzing and following up. Like it's all going to pay out. Like it's going to pay off. Just follow your steps to success, because honestly, you guys, like they're there for a reason, and it literally will. It might be hard at times. Like you might feel like, oh my goodness, like this is so hard, but just push through, because in the end, it's going to be so worth it. Like the end result of promoting or even double promoting is so much greater than you even can wrap your mind around right now. Like I literally am still in shock. I haven't even been able to like process it going from emerald to double, but like it literally will change your life, and it's worth it. I promise. Just follow those steps to success and just do it every single day and be diligent and pray over your business, and you will see really, really awesome things happen. Yeah, not going to Disneyland. Yes, Danielle and Ben. I know.
That is awesome. Yeah. So there's times I agree. There's times you have to give up something for something better at the time, and that's where it is with this business. There's some days that it's like, man, this business allows me to have so many freedoms. Sometimes I need to say no to them so I can have more freedom.
Yes. It's so true.
And know it's going to happen. Well, thank you so much for just sharing with us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so exciting. I'm so excited you promoted. And girl, I know you see it. So there's power in seeing it. And so you will be in that VIP section next year.
I will.
Thank you so much, Lissa. Okay. All right, Kelly. I am looking for you. Can you unmute yourself, Kelly? Oh, there you are. Okay, I see you. It says iPhone. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, girl.
How are you?
Good. Okay, congratulations. Okay, wait, I am still like wrapping my mind around what you did this last month. You signed up, and in 30 days, you went diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's awesome. You're like what everybody's like, okay, what are you doing? Because I need to know what you're doing. So, one, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And we're so glad to have you as a part of this team. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got involved?
Seriously, 6 months ago, I had my second set of twins 10 months ago, so in July. And my baby weight was not coming off. So I was on the lookout for something because Easter was coming up and I was not going to my family party 20 pounds heavier. And at the same time, a long time position that I had held, like a very low-key job, I was just opening mail for a friend, was coming to an end. I had worked with for like 10 years. So I don't even know how. Danielle and I have actually tried to figure this out, but randomly one day I saw a post. I think she posted one thing about, I don't know, get in shape or something, and then another thing about, anybody want to make $200 to $300 from their phone. And I was like, okay, what is this? I need to jump in. Like I had been recruited actually by a bunch of companies, road and fields, real estate, everything from A to Z. And nothing ever quite felt right. Like I never felt like connected to anything. So I read about the products and I felt like, wow, this might be really up my alley. If it works, then I'm in. And, so I just actually jumped in. I was like, I saw the vision from the beginning. I didn't even know Double Black Diamond existed. I kind of talked to Ben and I was like, does this exist? Because that's what I want. So my goal is to actually be that by September. So I just hit the ground running. I put it out there on Facebook. I I signed up my wife underneath me, and we just hit the ground running. We actually, most of my sales came from 2 posts, and I just got people to sign up. And part of it is because, people trust me and they believe me. And the other part is that building those relationships and that rapport for me is number one. And, when I was 19 years old, I sold Cutco knives, and it was a summer I actually was trying to get out of nursing school and just be home and figure some stuff out. So for me, it wasn't ever about a sale. It was always about the people and always about meeting people and getting to know them. So I was 19 years old. What do I know about knives? But I would go into these homes and meet people and talk to their dog and talk to their children and get to know them and really care, because I really actually do care about people. And that coming off, they would buy anything from me. So, as long as it was in alignment with what I believe in. And I've been in health and wellness for a long time. So having a product that creates results and gets people healthy and feeling better and back into balance, and me, longtime yoga instructor and vegetarian, getting my body back after a short amount of time, it was a no-brainer. So I just hit my area hard, and everyone in Ossining is now involved in some way.
Well, I love that. I love everything you're saying. One, you're like, I signed up to make money. That was the goal, and you saw the vision, you started without going, oh, I don't have my products yet, or I don't have, a lot of times people are like, well, I'll just wait, but you don't want to wait. There is that that first step, or those first few steps are sometimes the hardest steps you take. But once you start taking them, you're like, okay, this is awesome. But I love what you said about the people, because that is true. People are going to, for lack of a better word, they're going to buy you before they buy anything else, anything from you.
Right.
It's like that John Maxwell statement, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And so when they feel trusted and listened to, and I just like, with everything you're saying as a person, not knowing you, before tonight really, and hearing everything this business has talked about, you're like the perfect fit, because that's what they want us to do. They've said that your business motto should be help your friends and then keep making more friends, keep helping your friends. And
Right.
And that's what you're doing. So I love that. Okay, let's talk about what you do daily, because you have 4 babies under 4.
It's true.
So we're home with them. Okay.
Yes, I'm home with them alone.
Yeah, you're home with them alone, and you did it. What did you do this last? Like, what were the things you did? You said 2 posts. And some people were like, "What are those posts?" So yeah, we'd love to hear what your.
Oh, they were so I think one of them was like hair, skin, and nails, or I think hair, skin, and nails and the cleanse. And it literally, once it was only a few days in that I was like, what is all this stuff? I watched the video on the products and made my list. And I like to think about it in ways of, I keep people in my body, in my mind, in my heart, and my soul. Like, I make lists in that way. And then I just start thinking about it and praying about it. And I'm a big energy believer. Like, I believe that it's kind of floating around me, and I start thinking about people, then all of a sudden they'll like pick up the phone and call me, or they'll say like, hey, what's this all about? And so with the babies, I have them on me all the time. So the fact that I can do this all from my phone, I don't know if you saw the post the other day that I put up about them sleeping on me. Like, literally, I could put them to sleep and shoot out some posts or talk to people or whatever. And that for me was the biggest thing that I was looking for, was how can I do it from my phone and follow up with people in that way. So literally it has been that easy, and things I do every day, I post. I'm interacting with people every day. I can message really fast. So, it's not taking away from my children. It's not taking away from my life. And if anything, it's adding to it, because what do they say? Happy mama, happy everybody. So now that I'm feeling fulfilled in that way. And not that parenting isn't fulfilling, but let's face it, like I wasn't getting a paycheck. So the feedback is only as good as what you're getting back to you. And from 3-year-olds, that usually is resistance. And from babies, it's usually like just a whole of needing everything. So I needed some validation too, to just feel good and feel like I'm contributing, even though I contribute all the time. It's not, that'll show up in 20 years, not like day to day. So to be pulling in and then becoming the breadwinner so that, if my wife needs to take off time or she's not feeling well, take the pressure off of her so that we can, have a financially free life. That was really my desire. I just wanted that. And I forgot to say that how I got started. I was praying about it and it fell into my lap like 3 days later, literally. So I just figure that that's such a gift. So I take every day for what it is and make sure that I'm posting, that I'm responding, that I'm meeting with people, that I'm talking to people everywhere I go. I mean, mom of 2 sets of twins, and you like look great and feel great. People are like, what's your secret? And I'm like, I actually have a secret. Let me give you my card. Like, let's get in touch. Throw a wrap party. I'm so excited about it that the enthusiasm just is palpable. And people like that. They like to see it and they like to feel it and they want that for themselves too. So I do that a lot, like all of those things every day. I can't get enough of this stuff. I talk about it all the time.
I love it. Okay, so tell, but another thing is, which you kind of mentioned this in the beginning, is you're a huge product of the product. Like,
yes,
you like the product, you tried the product,
I use the product. Yeah.
Use the product. Okay. Now, when you're signing up DTs, you're telling them about the product as well, right? So most of your DTs don't just sign up and just get the kit.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. So
well, a lot of my DTs do, but a lot of what I'm working mostly is with my clients one-to-one. So when customers are like, hey, what are you talking about? Or what's going on? My first question and interaction is like, well, what are your goals? So even if it's a post about, a facial or the facial or the cleanse, which is, $36, but if their goal is more than 2 to 12 pounds, and Danielle coached me on this so well, it was, what are those questions? And then getting all the information I need about them, do they feel like their metabolism is slower? Do they have a carbon sugar thing? Like kind of gearing it towards whether they need a system, like if they need bigger results or if they need a few different products. So I'm always looking out for them that's going to benefit them the most and get them the most bang for their buck and results the fastest. So I'm kind of thinking about that with everybody that I talk to.
Yeah. No, I love that. And guys, if you are on here referencing this just clicked in my mind, the video that Kelly's referring to about the products and learning a little about them is on the Diamond Empire boot camp. The new
Ashley Hughes, right?
Yes, Ashley Hughes video is under the messaging, the script, the loyal customer script and stuff. It's under there. So if you're looking for that, that's where that is in that group page, as well as Danielle's posted a couple times. But that's super helpful. And I do love, again, you're saying it like, what are your goals? So you're putting it back on the person and you're interested in them. And that's probably going to help you with retention with them too, as you help them get where they're going, which is awesome.
Yeah. And I'm coaching them every day. So if something isn't working with them, we can adjust it, or I can figure out why, or troubleshoot with, you guys and the team. And it feels really good. People want follow through. They don't just want to get a box of wraps in the mail. I'm always like, let me know when you get your stuff. I want to know. I want to help you. I'll wrap you. I'll do whatever. And that extra mile is so worth it, because it does build those relationships and it builds that trust factor, and with a business like this, for me, it's very important.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone just signed up yesterday. What are you telling them?
Don't wait until you get your stuff. Don't wait until you try it. It works. Like, that's the proof is in the pudding. Like, it just works. And it's so easy to get started. Just start posting, see what happens, interact with a few people, get in touch with your friends and family, ask for those body models. And people are excited to not only help, but everybody wants to get in shape. Everybody wants to feel good. And for me, you know, as a yoga instructor, it took a lot of yoga to get a yoga body and to find Zen and to be peaceful. And people want results fast. They don't want to like wait. So what I would say is don't wait. Get on the phone, put up some posts, see how you feel. And then when you do get your products and you start using them, that's going to give you so much more wind in your sales that are already up and running that, you know, you'll be all good and you'll already hit the ground running. You don't have to wait for 3 to 7 or more business days to get your stuff. Like you really can start immediately, which I love. I mean, you have your website, you're all set up, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. One more question on this line. What 20 DTs, you, without at one point having a huge story, some people came to you, did you ask people as well?
You know what? My vision is to go to the top and take everyone with me. So I've watched a couple of videos about like team building, which I think are so amazing and so interesting. I think like 96, 97% of my team, I did myself. So getting there was really a lot of my own legwork. And so part of it was like, who do I feel like is in a financial place that maybe they want to have more abundance than they ever dreamed of. Maybe they want to quit their job. So it was easy for me to be like, let me take you with me. So I just kind of was like, take you with me, take you with me, take you with me. And then some people were like, I'm really interested in this. Can I sign up with you? So it was a mixture of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And then other people, you know, were like, I know you're onto something and I trust you. So they jumped on quick too, which was so wonderful. But it's amazing now because they already are started. I just got a text from Dale Owens, Veronica, that she just got her stuff today and she signed up with me and she's excited, but she was waiting a little bit to get her stuff. And now they have people under them already. Like they were already up for like, you know, distributor and executive and then promoting to Ruby and Emerald. Like I already have people who are in the wings kind of waiting for their moment and they're already off to a jump start. So I feel like now that they're getting excited and seeing that they don't really have to do much, what can they do? So it's easy for me to be like, this is so easy, let's do this. Or, you know, you can handle this part, let's do it together. And really building that team and that camaraderie because I'm committed to taking them with me. I know a lot of people for a long time have suffered in one way or another. And, you know, I was feeling that glass ceiling myself and feeling like, no, I want financial freedom. I want to break through that. I want to go to the top of something. I want more abundance than I even know what to do with. I want a house on the beach. So, yeah. So, you know, it's not only about the money because the products are amazing and I'm pain-free and feel amazing too. So, it's just such a win-win-win. Then I got my face products. I'm like, wow, how can this get even better and better? And it just does. Like, it just does.
I'm with you. When I signed up, Sherry and I would be like, I didn't even know this about this business. This is awesome. It felt like every time something happened, it was like, wow, how did we pick this business?
How did I end up here?
I know.
Yeah, totally.
So just one last tip you could give everybody.
Number one, don't take no personal. Don't take anything personal in this business. Even like today, I put up a post and some guy from France was like, it works as a scam. I'm like, oh my gosh, for real? Like, really? Are you giving me that right before I get on this call? And, you know, knowing that everything I'm experiencing is not only real, but it's happening. And it's magical and amazing, keeping connected. And like you said before, keeping plugged in and having that support and leaning on each other. And yes, you're going to have some bumps in the road or people like, auto ship, or what does that mean? And, you know, all these things. But when you face adversity, I feel like it's the universe or God's way of challenging you to your greatest dreams and your biggest steps. So I take that as like, I'm in the right direction. What do I need to do to push through? Like this is really happening. And I love you guys too, Ben. This is really happening. So I would say when you hit that resistance, it's a growth spurt in you. And so where you're growing or where you feel like you're on your edge, just let yourself have it. Maybe you need to pray a little bit more. Maybe you need to get right again with your why. Maybe you need to like reconnect with what it is that you're doing and who you're doing it with and why you're doing it. But once you feel that desperation place, I would say like the readjustment into your truth and where you're headed and like vision is keeping your eye on the prize and just letting your positivity run with it, because you know the products work, you know that this business is amazing. And I think kind of trusting a little bit in that and letting go a little bit and opening to possibility allows for those miracles to happen over and over and over again. It's like when we try to control it, you know, what I think needs to happen is like way different than what the universe or God thinks needs to happen. So if we let go a little bit and trust and continue to, you know, push forward, then we're all good and we're in the exact place that we need to be. Always.
Yeah. That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time and sharing with us all
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You know that you are far from done. You know that you're far from done, and just keeping that vision and that attitude is going to take you. You already know that. So
thank you so much, Stacy. Nice to talk to you. Bye, everybody.
Okay. No. Oh, there you are, Lauren. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Lauren. Hi.
Hey, I feel so like relaxed right now. I don't know if I can like talk because I'm just so like soothed and like inspired.
I'm like,
but I'm like, oh man, calm. I love it.
Which is fun, you know. It's fun to know this whole thing can be pointed in such a great. Sometimes we're all like, I have to be on like hype 12 to do something, you know, we're like flipping out, but you just have to have a good mindset and go for it.
Yeah.
All right, girl. Double diamond. How exciting.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. I know. It's awesome. It's so great. So tell us a little bit of how you got in this business.
So actually, Danielle Boyle, our newest presidential diamond, and I used to go to church together a million years ago, like when she was in high school. And basically, like, I don't know, 7 years ago, I'd seen some people talking about this rap thing, and I just wrote it off as like a gimmick or something. And then, you know, Danielle and I hadn't like kept up much since I left New Orleans, but I like knew her. And so when she started doing it, I was like, okay, this girl has integrity. I know her. And also she has a background in like holistic health and things like that. And I knew that about her. So I was like, okay, maybe this really is legit. And I just started out as a customer. And that was all I was ever planning on doing. And then after a little bit of time, I was like loving the products and stuff. I remember like I had this little like, maybe I should do this business. And I just like ignored that voice for a while. And then at some point I like had heard it enough times where I was like, I said something to my husband, but I said it like this, like, I had this crazy thought, like something we would never do. Like maybe I should do this. And we just kind of laughed about it, but it just kept nudging me. At that point, we'd been married a little over a year. We'd written a vision statement for our marriage. And I just kept seeing how the business, as Danielle was like talking about it, and I was kind of following her journey, really seemed to fit up with things that were important to us, you know, from like just like a focus on health and wellness is important to us. Financial freedom and freedom of our time is really important to us, things that we want to be pursuing, being lifelong learners. I mean, there's just a lot of things that just really matched. And so like, I just couldn't like ignore the little nudge. It was months. It was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. I just kept praying about it. And finally my husband was like, look, you need to just pray about this and you need to talk to them. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll talk. So then I talked to Danielle and Ben and asked like a bazillion questions because I'm very analytical. And then I finally just decided I would do it. I was really scared. I was super hesitant. There were a lot of reasons. I mean, I was scared I was going to fail. I hadn't really been on social media for like years at that point. I was kind of like out of the loop. I was like, I don't know about this. Like, I mainly was just afraid that I would try something new and not be good at it and that I'd embarrass myself or something. And I felt like the Lord is like, you know, fear's not of him. And like, this has an opportunity to do something for your family that really aligns with the vision that I've given you. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. So I jumped in. I was still really uncomfortable. I like to learn things in private before I like go put it out there. But I was like, you can't really do that because you got to kind of learn as you go in this case. So anyways, fast forward, I went Ruby. I got my Ruby bonus. And then and I got to go on the cruise, which was awesome. That really made it like feel more real to me because I'm, even though I was working my own business mainly on social, basically exclusively on social media, I'm like such an in-person person. So that was really helpful for me. And then I kind of faced a slump between cruise and conference. You know, I kind of like you guys were talking about, I mean, I actually never went Emerald because that was like the most elusive promotion for me. And, you know, I asked a lot of questions between cruise and conference about like, am I really in the right place? Am I doing this? But I just kept committed to being consistent anyways. So I was like asking all these questions and not really sure, but I was like still doing the things that I like kind of committed to do. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward, I went to conference and then March came and that was the month I went Diamond. And it was my last month to get my Go Fast bonus for Diamond. And that month, the Lord stretched me a lot, taught me a whole lot, which I can go into more later afterwards if you want. But basically, I didn't really think that like going Diamond was possible. But Ben and Danielle kept being like, yeah, you're totally in a good spot. Like you can do this. And I just really committed to working that month. And I got my Diamond bonus. And then fast forward, I got my double Diamond in whatever last month was, May.
May.
And my husband went Diamond, but he was deployed that whole time. So I like that because babe, guess what? You've done nothing. You haven't even been in the country. And you're a Diamond. He comes home and he's like, I was like, babe, I had his Emerald certificate or whatever for when I went Diamond. I was like, babe, your Emerald certificate's over there if you want it. Like, that's the somewhat short story.
I know, that's a beauty. I know. Joey's like, so what do I get for going? And I'm like, excuse me? Just kidding. No, that's so fun. That is a fun part of this business that you get to do that. But that is awesome. And I appreciate your persistence and a little bit of that, like, that stretching and that pressure into those points where it's like, man, because there can be a point, like right now, there's probably people sitting on this Zoom going, I don't see it. Is it just for them? Is it not going to happen for me? So what would you tell, because you had a mind shift, obviously, because you were in that place and now you're a double Diamond. So what kind of happened in that?
Yeah. So I would say a couple really key things happened. Like there were some things that changed, like sort of logistically that I feel like I've grown in since like trying to go Diamond and through that. But then there's also things that were, like you said, are more mindset oriented. And there were like two key things, I would say, maybe three, that happened in March that really were like anchors that like got me through March and is really why I got that bonus. And the first one was, so like the bonus felt really out of reach, but I had just gotten off the phone with an old friend, a friend that like from the day I started this business, I was like, this would be so good for her. Like they're constantly having financial struggles. She has a daughter that she would love to stay home with, but she's, feels like she still needs to be working to make money. So she's away from her and that's something that she wants. And she loves people. And I always thought she'd be good at it. We've talked about it and she just hasn't been ready. And one morning, it was like a weekend right at the beginning of March, I'd just gotten off the phone with her and she was having these stresses again. And I just was like, I felt like the Lord was like, you know what, Lauren, you need to go Diamond so that people like her will believe that it's possible. Mm-hmm. And that was really like, and then all of a sudden after, I felt like he kind of was like showing me like, this is not just about you, Lauren, like you getting this is about like giving hope to other people who also think that, maybe this is something they could do, but they're just afraid, or maybe it couldn't actually be real, but they know you. Like, and then as soon as I had that thought, then all these other people just kept flooding into my mind of like man, like this would be so good for this person or that person who for whatever reason has had hesitancies. And so that really motivated me really early on. I was like, okay, like, I don't know if diamond's possible. I know people say it is, but I don't really know if it is. But if there's even a chance that I could get this and that could then bless other people and give them hope and maybe open them up to this possibility, then I'm going to try. I'm going to really try. And then another thing that happened, was, I don't know, it probably was someone on this Zoom posted one of those cute little word pics and it just said, rise up and pray. And that really resonated with me. And I put it like on the wallpaper on my phone and all this stuff. And I felt like the Lord spoke to me through that and was just like, Lauren, you can't know the outcome. Like, you don't know what the end of March is going to bring, but I've called you to pursue this, and your job is to rise up and pray. And that translated to like work and pray and work and pray. And that was sort of like my motto for the month, was like work and pray, work and pray. And I just sort of like, that was like my little marching tune. Mm-hmm. And because I was like, I don't know if I can get this bonus, but I know I can work and I know I can pray, and I'm just going to do it, So that was huge. And then one other thing happened, which was actually Jennifer on there. She really encouraged me to pray specifically for what I needed as far as like volume and stuff. So that like about, I don't know, a week or two at the end of the month, we had a really good conversation. She really encouraged me in that. And so I started praying even more specifically. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I would say those are a couple big things.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. And now another thing, yes, I love specific prayers, and I feel like that goes along with the lion. Now I'm blanking on the title of that book. But being specific for what you're asking for. Now you could have some things like, hey, yeah, your husband's deployed. Like that could make you go, in the midst of all this, that could put you in a different place, but it didn't. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it did sometimes. It was challenging, it can be hard sometimes to want to like pull yourself up and do the things that you need to do to work your business if you're like really sad or worried or anxious. Like those are hard things to do. So I mean, I don't know if I even have an answer to that, except that like to just do it. Like to be like, Lord, help me do this, and then just do it, I don't know.
So tell us what work is for you. Like you're saying, okay, work and pray. So what does that look like? What's the work side of it?
Yeah, I mean, I work my business mostly on social media, like almost exclusively. It's not like anything we haven't heard before. Like it's posting consistently. I agree with Melissa. Like I'm big on like my business is open. It's messaging, it's following up, it's adding people. And I agree with also what Kelly was saying. Like I do feel like a big priority for me is like, how can I help people through this? And so I try to like have that in my mind, and when I'm messaging and all those things, like who can I bless through this business or through these products? So
yeah, which shows evidence. I know Danielle's saying here you work so well with the team, and that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like I will give a tip, like a real logistical tip on this. So I remember I texted Danielle. I don't remember, we were on the phone. I don't remember. And at some point as like my business was growing, I was like, Danielle, I feel really stretched thin. Like, I really think it's important. Like I feel like a strong responsibility for my team, and I want to support them. Like, I feel like they've like entrusted themselves to me in a certain degree, and I want to honor that. And I was like, but I'm feeling spread so thin. Like there's more of them now, and I don't know what to do. And she really encouraged me. She's like, look, it's one thing I've learned is like a quick check-in every day or a couple times a day is all it takes. Like, and that can just be like, hey, who are your potentials today? Or like, hey, did you get that wrap party scheduled? It doesn't have like literally like one sentence, And I was like, oh yeah, like I can send out 15 one-sentence texts a day. Like that's not that hard, So I think that is like a really good tip, like trying to be just really consistent following up with people on my team.
No, that's awesome. And yeah, that's so good because that's all people want to know. They're still a part of something. I think that's powerful, you know? Okay, so someone's going diamond. What are you going to tell them? Someone on your team is going diamond. They're like, I don't know if I can go.
Well, Danielle and I were talking to a friend on our team today who's going diamond. And we were just, talking about her goals and how she's going to do it. And the thing that I ended up just telling her, just because it kind of came up in our conversation, was like twofold. One, why do you want to go diamond? And two, like why the investment is worth it that month. And first, why do you want to go? I worked really hard in March. I was like, this is my last month. I'm going to just work. I said no to a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I did. Normally I'm pretty social. I do a lot, but I was like, no, I looked at my calendar. I was like, I'm only doing the very essential things. And I'm going to commit to this because this is the month and I'm going to work at it. So I said no to a lot. But two things. One, why the investment is worth it, because I might have said no to a lot of things in March. But in April, I still worked my business in April, but I got paid for all the work I did in March, and in May, I still worked my business in May, but I'm getting paid for all the work I did in March. I'm just working my business. I work my business normally in April, not saying no to everything, so that's one reason it's worth it. And then the second thing, sorry, my computer, I'm worried it's going to die. The second thing was that I don't remember anything I said no to in March. I couldn't tell you one thing I said no to. I know I said no, but I just don't know what it was. So if you're wanting to go diamond or whatever the next, promotion is you want, on a promotion month, it's worth the investment of saying no to some things for all the things that you're going to get that month and the next month and the next month and the next month. And you're not going to remember the things you said no to. You just won't, and it's going to be worth it. So I guess that would be my tip.
I love it. That's so good. And I agree. It's so true. So sometimes you got to give up the good to get the great. And, that's what it takes in this season. And I agree with you 100%. And I'm so glad you said no to some of those things because
whatever they were, I don't know. Whatever they were.
I know. Things can feel so tense in those moments. But thank you so much for sharing with us. Do you have one more tip you'd like to share? Something else in there?
Well, I will just say the same thing that John and Sherry say all the time, which I just really agree with, which is if you put people first, the rest of it will come, and people will see that. And even today I met up for coffee with a potential new distributor and, I heard again, Lauren, I see lots of people trying to sell stuff on Facebook, but and it just feels like an ad, but there was something about you that made me maybe it's not just that. And I really think it is that idea of we're here, we have an opportunity that can really bless people financially. And we have products that can really bless people in their health. And when that's your priority, that comes through in how you talk to people and even what your posts sound like. And not that there's, never a copy and paste post or whatever. I'm not saying that, but it will be infused in what you're doing. And that matters. And that will, I really think that's important. So people first and the rest comes.
Yeah. Awesome. People first, the rest comes. I agree with you. And that's going to take you all the way. It's going to keep happening. And so we're excited for you. Congratulations on all your hard work. It's good to see it rewarded. We're so proud of you. I think just with everybody on here, I think some powerful things from tonight. What are your whys? Because everybody referenced that. Do you know your why? You know what I mean? Just dig down deep inside. Why am I doing this? And let that continue to motivate you. I think they all knew their non-negotiables. So what are your non-negotiables? Sherry talks about that all the time too. Your 6 list. What are you doing? I think too, you're seeing on here, even overflow from Danielle, you know, like, so we met on Instagram. I signed up right away when I saw a post. I talked to you for an hour. I waited 2 weeks and to tell you I signed up. You know what I mean? Like you see the fruit come from all different places, and that's part of the power of planting, you know, knowing it will come back to you and seeing it start to happen. And so I think the biggest thing, you're seeing the secret sauce, which I'll go down with raising this flag, is being consistent. What are you doing? What you do every day matters more than what you do every once in a while. And seeing that in your business, it's going to come back to you, what you're doing every day. You know, you work it every day. You do what you can, you know, some days you can do more and some days you can do less, but what you do every day is powerful. And so we're excited for June. Write your goals down, guys. Have it somewhere. See it. You know, my mirror says ambassador, and then I have 10 people on that mirror on my team of what their goals are too. And that's what I'm specifically praying for. And so you got to put it in front of you, you know, whether that's executive, whether that's Ruby, plug in, pull into your team. If you're like, man, I've been kind of like holding back a little bit, but after hearing these guys, hearing them plug in and seeing what they're saying, it's time for me to flip a switch and turn around and go for it. It's not too late to do that. And I just wanted to leave you with a scripture. One of the leaders on my team gave this one to me for this month, and so I just want to share it with y'all. It's Psalms 128. I know I've seen a lot of people planting. It's like, okay, that harvest has got to come in now, you know, and it's going to. But here's the scripture. It's just Psalms 128:2. You will enjoy the fruit of your labor. How joyful and prosperous you will be. And so I know you guys are going to enjoy that fruit of your labor, and it's going to be joyful and prosperous. And we're going to see it happen as you continue to be consistent and work your business and go for it. Because like we said, there's not, I think hearing all these, you heard some single mom, 3 girls, lost her job, could all be excuses to quit, you know, 4 under 4, just getting started, all like a bunch of excuses to go slow, you know, deployed, things that could get you down, deployed husband, things that could get you down, depressed, overwhelmed, but still doing it no matter what. It's that moment when what could be your why could also be your excuse, and letting that continue to be your why and drive you forward. So proud of you all, thankful for you all. Dear God, I pray that you bless these people. I pray that what they put their hand to, God, that you would establish the work of their hands, and that you would just continue to bring the people in their path. We've heard a lot about just caring about people, God, and that this business has been an opportunity for us to get, you've blessed us in many ways through this business, God. May we not keep that to ourselves, but may we continue to extend it and give it out to others. I pray for everybody on here, just give them a renewed vision and just a refreshing, and we give this business to you. In your name we pray. All right, guys, thank you again. Kelly, Melissa, Lauren, you guys are awesome and inspiring. Thank you so, so much, and have a great night.